Alright, what's up guys? Yo Firekeeper, welcome back. Thanks for the tier 3 resub for 15, bro. Welcome back. Okay, let's go. I haven't streamed in a few days here. Oh, should be fun. What's up, Invader Tim? What's up, Planted? Kaled? What's up, Asriel? Alright. Good afternoon, Tim. Better not be teasing with that 2v2 talk. No, I need clips, Mungus, so you can be sure we're gonna do 2s because I need clips. The fungus is growing out of control, bro. What's up, Steve? What's up, Black Jesus? How you doing, bro? Oh, teammate? Alright. Yeah, we see them. And just like that, that's one down. He actually attempted to hit me. What a shit player, dude. Insane. Bro, did you guys see that? What the fuck was that? Yeah, solid go for real, though. Dude tried to hit me from the back, and then, like, miserably failed, and then just fucking yeeted himself off because he failed. That shit is something. Oh, he's not even there. Oh, he is. He's just being edgy. We're invading at 105? No, we're not. Okay. I was about to say, like, that feels like these people are, like, less than level 100. Don't forget, Tarnished gameplay is next week. Oh, it's next week, eh? Alright. Yo, Steve, thanks for the resub for 31, bro. Welcome back. Much appreciated. I'm just trying to get invasion. I'm always at level 125, honestly. Especially these days, like, I don't really... haven't played, like, other level brackets in a while. Yo, Chirico! Welcome back, bro. Thanks for the resub Twitch Prime for 44. Wii U gaming. The guy was gonna buy me an Xbox once. Once you to unban him. It's your call, Vale. You're the one who banned him. Your call. I'm staying out of this. Unbanned for 600. Mungus knows how to negotiate. Am I tripping? Oh. I mean, he is going the wrong way. Like, there is nowhere to go for him. Like, in his head, he's like, I need to run back to the Grace. And then, like, he doesn't know, like, he's going to a dead end. He's making it easier for me. Going to a spot where he cannot escape. His only chance at redemption is for the PvE to, like, hit me. I'm very happy that his runes will be, like, sitting there. He'll probably die before getting to them. Went from an 8 out of 10 to a 7. Jesus Christ, dude. Have you had to go back to the hospital, or has it been, like, more steady since then? I've been good, Steve, honestly. Very busy, but I've been good. Been steady so far, nothing too extreme. Well, I guess that's what we want, really. Yo, what's up, AZ Lua? How you doing, man? You got your 2 surgeries coming up in October. It's gonna be painful. I'm sure you're gonna be alright, dude. I'm a believer. I believe it's gonna be fine. the stupid lock onto the hose. You know what? Sometimes it's just like easier to kill hyper armor with hyper armor of your own. Yo, what's up, Humble? What's up, Teach? How you doing, bro? And time flies. We're already like right near like September. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? It's a lazy day. Are you at work, Teach? Shut up, Mungus. Didn't want to get hit by that. I don't know what I'm expecting. They're just doing range attacks. I was hoping he'd just commit to the full thing. Someone needs to put Mungus back in his cage. He's too excited today. When you coming back to Dark Souls 3? Probably never. I moved on, man. Can't do the same thing forever. Yeah, I think here. Dude, that Armored Core track is so good, though. Who's his owner? Well, I'm not gonna claim ownership over Mungus, but... Okay, it's dueling shield, then I don't have my what's it called? I don't have my giant crusher. We're gonna do this with this here. Me go grab a giant crusher, because to kill people like that, you know, dueling shield counters everything except like fucking 3 weapons or something like that. But in order to kill these guys more quickly, the crusher is very useful because they just can't block it, and it does a ton of stamina damage. So I like to have the crusher for dueling shields like this guy. Just very useful. You can block it. I mean, you can't block 2 though. Not that hard to like, basically the thing is, like, even if you optimize your dueling shield build, you're gonna be able to block 1, and then afterward I can put you in a mix-up. You can 2. You tested it. What's your level, Humble? What level are you? Are you over 125? Because if you're over 125, then you're 139. See, like, you know. I mean, if I over level, you know, I can do things to you that you can't even imagine. What would you use against a good wacky board? I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know how to play against wacky board, because that shit is like very, very difficult to approach. Because normally, like, against pretty much anything, I'd use TS as the de facto. But with the parry, you're kind of putting yourself at a massive risk if they parry. Like, TS is not that hard to parry, especially if it's 2 good players fighting each other, because the timing are a lot tighter when the players, like, attack as soon as they're in range. Like, tight spacing equals, like, tight timing, which shorten the, like the window for, like, missing a parry. Like, it becomes, like, tighter and tighter and easier to, like, parry at the right time, basically. Like, the better you're fighting, the better your opposition. Like, as weirdly as it sounds, like, it's much harder to parry, like, some bad player than it is to parry, like, a very good player that has very tight spacing. Where is the thing I'm looking for? Be this, right? Yep. Okay. That has some range. I know there's a rock. Okay, there's a rock here. If I want to fight this thing, not sure. Okay, well, that's an important kill. Guy has that shit net. Take that. Yeah, this guy's chill. It's a great cat. One counter hit. Good boy. If Dark Souls 3 had Elden Ring poise system and the jump, it might be good. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Like, the poise system is like one of the worst thing that Elden Ring has. Like, legitimately, the poise in Elden Ring is like one of the thing that makes the game bad. Or the PvP, at least. Yeah, if we had, like, the way Dark Souls 3 poise works in Elden Ring, like, the game would be actually better. Like, Elden Ring would be better if we had, like, the way Dark Souls 3 works. It would be far from perfect. There would still be issues, but it would be better than what we have now, that's for sure. Because at least you'd be able to keep priority, which is, like, one of the biggest issue that Elden Ring has. You lose priority when you attack someone, which makes neutral and spacing, like, way more irrelevant. Like, you can lose fight by having better spacing and, like, basically, like, outspacing your opponent in every neutral exchange and still lose because oh boy. Okay, well, we take that. Oh, bro. That shit's so funny, dude. What the hell? Ah. I jumped down there by accident. A few streams ago, you said you learned everything in Dark Souls 3, and that was the reason to not fully go back. No, not I learned everything. I did everything. Like, in Dark Souls 3, there's nothing that I have not done in this game, you know? Like, whether it's tournaments, you know, accomplishments, people I did not beat, you know, like, invasion, like, you name it. Like, you can name, like, anything that, like, a player would want to achieve, like, getting better at a game. Like, in Dark Souls 3, I've done it. I've done pretty much everything. So, like, the reasons and the motivations to go back are basically non-existent. It's a bit like I conquered the game, literally. Why don't you play fighting games? I mean, why would I play fighting games? I think that's a better question. Maybe you like it, I don't. Why should I care about playing fighting games? Like, Souls games are not like fighting games. Like, a lot of people, like, compare the two and they're, like, so different. Like, it's not because you play Souls game that you should be interested in fighting games. Like, that makes actually no sense. They're not mutually exclusive, but they're not related, like, whatsoever. You understand? Yeah, I understand you so well. Yeah, I mean, like, people always say, like, why don't you play fighting games? Like, bro, you think I'm playing this and that I would like fighting games because I'm playing this? Like, they're so different. I wasn't sure about that, but... I want to try a pivot, even though it ate my input. Great game. Well, the range on this thing is, like, abnormal. Okay. I think he's latent. Doesn't look latent, actually. I was aiming for the yellow, but I'm happy we clipped both. That was supposed to be a running heavy. If fighting games and Souls are not related, then why can you unequip a weapon and punch people in the face? See, Steel is asking the good questions. They have much of the things you enjoy about PvP? No, they don't. It's not even the same genre, bro. Like, it's like saying that I would enjoy fucking racing games because, you know, they're competitively super balanced and shit. Like, it's not even the same genre, bro. What are you talking about? Oh, man. Like, you can like fighting games and you can like Souls games. It's fine, you know? Like, nothing wrong with that, but they're not the same. It's not even close to being the same genre. The only parallel that you can draw is that both could require, like, what you could consider to be a similar type of skill set with the spacing and timing. But that's about it. Like, they play very differently. Trying to sneak in some R2s here, but definitely not the play. Bush PvP. I bet you I would like playing horror games because I like Elden Ring Connections. See, like, that makes more sense to me. Like, that I could relate. I understand that fighting games and Souls like share a lot of concepts like spacing and timing, but in terms of actual gameplay, like, they're not the same at all. Like, you control fighting game characters from like this angle here, like, you know, like the whole time, like, you're controlling your characters in a pseudo 3D environment like that, and it's just side view, and all you have to worry about is like spacing, like pretty much like this way. Like, it's not really comparable. Like Souls differs so much. So like Souls, like a Souls game like this is closer to Skyrim than it is to a fighting game. It's just so different. Like, this is much closer to like the typical RPG than it is to fighting games. It just shares some concept when it comes to like how your skills translate in the game. With spacing, timing, you know, learning combos or sequences of buttons, basically. Like, when I say learning sequences of buttons, like, I remember in Dark Souls 3, like, I referred to, like, swapping as learning combos in a fighting game. Because the concept is very similar. But that doesn't mean the games play the same. It's just the concept that is similar. But they're totally different. They play very differently. No, if I wanted to play a game where I believe, like, that like a game that I would quote-unquote be built for, like, I think I missed the boat with Minecraft, if I'm being honest. Not Minecraft, sorry, Fortnite. I don't know why I said Minecraft. I think I missed the boat by not playing Fortnite, because the whole, like, building aspect, I think I would have been pretty good at that. And then coming from a shooter background, like tactical shooter background, I think I would have done very well in Fortnite. But I mean, the boat has sailed for Fortnite. I think I would have been pretty good at Minecraft too, though. Freudian slip? Well, I don't know if it's a Freudian slip, but I think I would have been pretty good at Minecraft because of the building. With that being said, you know, my favorite game of all time Still Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Second favorite, I think I would be dishonest with myself if I didn't put, like, Dark Souls 3. Because I played Dark Souls 3 for so long and enjoyed my time with it. Although, I'm pretty much, like I said, I did everything in Dark Souls 3, so the incentive to come back is just not there. It's actually similar to Rainbow Six, although the reason why I left Rainbow Six is not the same as the reason why I left Dark Souls 3. Reason why I left Dark Souls 3 is obviously because Elden Ring came out. Whereas with Rainbow Six, the reason why I stopped playing that was because the game just simply died. Like, you know, competition died over after a while. You know, because I played that for 8 years, like, competitive games don't always last that long. Especially when it's not on PC. Okay, you know, we see some, oh, well, there's a blue in here. Let's just make sure the blue... Wait, everything here is dead. That's good to know. That's good to know that everything here is dead. So eventually we might have to run all the way back here, basically. I think for this one, I think we're better off. I think we're better off with Crusher, honestly. Crusher might be a better play here. I think these guys are ganking, but they killed everything and just camping up there, which is pretty suspicious. They just want to gank in like one spot. What they didn't realize is that, you know, the invader might need to take a shit, and so I'm gonna go deep into the level, hide somewhere, and then take a little break, you know? Then I'll be back. So I'm serious, guys. I'm gonna try to find a spot, and then I'm gonna go take a shit, and then come back. But I'm staying in their world. I'll just respawn, you know, when I get back. This is the spot where I actually, like, very often die. Okay, there you go, we're good. Like, I've actually slipped on this particular spot so many times. Do you actually like Giant Crusher? Or do you play for optimal damage? I mean, the reason why you'd use Crusher is for all the advantages that come with it. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Where's the Mimic Veil? I guess it should be here. Oh, there it is. There we go. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. All right, we're back. Did they move? You guys think they moved? I think they might have stayed at the same spot. Oh my god. That's crazy. Already you're jealous? Well, if you didn't know, I'm actually a time traveler. Every time I sit on the toilet, I travel back in time. So every time I go take a shit, the time for you seems very, very short. But I'm spending, like, basically, like, you know, a full lifetime there. Like, I basically relive what's been lived before. You wouldn't understand, though. And that's textbooks to time traveling. Well, they cleared everything while I was gone here. Insane. There's 3 people, like, I'm not gonna engage, like, 3 people like that. One thing that I could actually take advantage of right now is the fact that the host is buying... Oh, he went down. I was about to say, if I can spawn back up when the host is there and the 2 blues are down, like, that would be, like, super good, which I would have been able to do if he didn't go down. That's 1 down. Wow, I felt like I hit that. That was still a good move. We got 1 of them. There's poo-poo. Ah, feels so much better. There was 1 left in the tank. You know, between the bathroom break, the respawn, like, we actually played that invasion pretty well, like, all things considered. Yo, what's up, Canuck? How you doing, bro? I think my favorite part about this invasion is when I respawned, I hid behind a pillar, and they went to search for me behind that same pillar. Like, they actually got completely juked. That was actually pretty cool. Great fucking game. Oh, come on. Okay, well, just before getting destroyed, he got killed. Oh my god. Fungus, is that you? The game is so dead on 150, should you make a 125? I mean, it's up to you, really. I actually don't know how the activity is like at 150. You love the chariots? I don't. I don't like them. Like one in a million fucking invasion where they're actually useful. Usually they get you killed more than anything. Game is dead. Well, with the Nightreign new boss, like every time there's a new boss in Nightreign, usually the activity in Elden Ring takes a hit. Although today it seems pretty active for the, you know, like right now there's supposed to be like a new boss in Nightreign and the game's still active either way, so not that bad. Okay, let's try with that. I love the fact that my timing for the jump was correct, but I jumped over the range at which I could hit him. Yo, Firekeeper, thank you so much for the 10 gifted, man. Thank you so much, dude. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I love playing with Milady. It's very fun. Not the most skillful weapon, but it's very fun. I think you could play with it skillfully with the crouch, though. Like, But it's just... Honestly, I don't think it's a very good invasion weapon. It usually does not perform all that well for me compared to, like, other stuff. Like Shamshir, you know, doing, like, similar things than Milady in terms of, like... You know, the type of situation it excels in invasions, but Shamshir basically does it better, it feels like. Oh yeah, power stance. You know what? Let me try that. Let me try power stance, milady. I haven't actually tried that. Dude, since the DLC came out, I don't think I've ever played with this. I've never played with that. Dude, I have no idea how to play with this thing. It keeps prio, by the way? Ah. Well, we're gonna give that a shot. Maybe I'm gonna discover something today. Just don't use the first L1. Okay. Dude, since the DLC came out, I played a ton with Milady, but I never really dedicated any time to playing with Milady power stance. That's crazy. I'm kind of excited to actually try it out. I don't know what to expect. Ooh, I mean... It does good damage. It does good damage, that's for sure. Any tech between two-handed and PS is kind of nasty. Gives you so many options. Yeah, you're probably right, but like right now, since I never played with this moveset, I'm gonna need to like get familiar with it and understand like when it makes sense to use which attacks, right? It seems like the neutral L1 doesn't... Like, it seems slow and not that good. Like, it seems like it has poor tracking just looking at it. Like, the first L1 actually does look pretty bad. The first L1 is mega bad? Okay. So, what do you use for your first attack, Vale? Do you use, like, the one-handed R2? Like, if you have to engage, like, neutral, do you just do, like, one-handed R2 like that? Like, one-handed R2 into, like, L1 mash? Or do you, like, always engage with, like, the jumping first? Just crouch L1 or jump L1? Okay, yeah, they do actually, like... Crouch into the follow-up does seem pretty, like, it's a fast transition between the two, it looks like. Wondering if I keep priority versus a greatsword. Okay, here the question is, are they in these conduit or these ones? Hard to tell. Go for these ones. I didn't drink my... Oh, they went here. Okay. Oh, we can see them. We can see them, and... this is not a good area. Not a good area for this. I feel like I'm gonna bounce off of walls like crazy. Yep. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's you can't use that here. Oh my god, you can't use that period. Holy shit. Oh, there's a third one. Okay, forget it. We're going down. Ah, you know what? I'm tempted. Do that. Okay, so I was right. You cannot use these things in closed area because every move you have just bounces off a wall to the point where it's like unusable. I wonder what I should use for damage. Maybe jump tally. You just do successive hits tally? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I think you're right. That's probably a better option. Multi-hits feels good. Alright, I'll do that. I'll do this and this. So I'll get even more defense as a little bonus. Oh, that's right, you can't I can't quick swap. Oh, didn't hit anyone there. I mean, that's free. Yo, Mish, how you doing, man? Is heavy infusion best for my current build? I mean, obviously, you'd be like, if you're gonna power stance these, you're gonna be way better off with a Dex build or even a Fate build. But until they release Tarnished Edition, I'm gonna stick with what I have. With Tarnished Edition, you know, might make some new builds. Redo the characters, prepare everything for the new armors, the new weapons, who knows? Is Milady default Ash of War any good? In PvE, with the right setup, I think so. In PvP, like, honestly, between like Sword Dance and Swift Slash, or not Swift Slash, and fuck, what is it called? And Spinning Slash. Those are just better, really. Yeah, with Swift Slash, dude, you're in business, trust me. Got a blue in there. Okay, yeah, that is really bad. Yeah, I'm not used to the setup yet, but it definitely feels like the multi-hit tally is very, very good with these, because I saw the proc like kick in with like barely any ghost hits, so I think you guys are right. Are strength builds just better all around? I don't know, honestly, because it depends on like it depends on what you want to be using. Like, one of the biggest reasons to use strength as an invader is actually like good damage with the golem great bow. And then as far as like meta weapon, you have access to like the best thrusting sword, basically. So those are like two very strong points for using strength. But it's not like the other builds like don't have anything. Like, you could easily make like a very nasty gravitational missile focused magic builds where you basically can do like almost all of the same things that you can do with strength. It's just like you have access to different specific tools, basically. Because like, for instance, with that magic build, I'd still be able to use these two LGS for comparable damage. Like, it wouldn't really change anything. Like, where it changes something is mostly like when it comes to like optimal setups for your main like tryhard weapons, and like some specific weapons or setups that are unique to a specific build. Like, gravitational missile is unique to a magic build, and it's a very powerful tool that, you know, it's underused for how strong it is by good players because it's cheesy. Because, you know, like, I don't actually know what would win if, like, if someone had mastered how to abuse gravitational missile versus someone who's playing, like, let's say, VHS thrusting sword. Like, I'm not actually sure the TS would win because of the frame traps. Like, given a closed environment, not, like, infinite runaway. But, you know, it's a similar story for, like, other builds, you know, with Fate builds, depending on like how honest the fights are, you have access to projected heal. Like, with projected heal, like if you count projected heal, by default Fate builds are better than every other build, if you count that, right? So, like, to say that strength is better all around, I'm not sure I agree with that, because it really depends on how you measure like which builds are best. Because under like no rule set and anything goes, projected heal trumps all, basically. And also with Fate, you have insane damage. But you don't have access to like optimal TS or the best Golem Great Bow, for instance. And same deal with Dex builds, right? With Dex build, if you dedicate yourself to making the most broken back-end blades that you can have with fucking blind spot, like, blind spot is totally broken. Like, you're gonna, like, no matter what you're using against that blind spot, if the player you're fighting actually knows what he's doing, you're gonna have a very hard time. Because, like, you know, you could try to counter blind spot as much as you want with like something like Storm Stomp, But if the other player is intelligent and he doesn't play into your Storm Stomp or never actually does blind spot like randomly and actually just uses the back-end blade with crouch attacks and like basically like forces you to like miss and whiff and just punishes you, then you're in for a hard time. And even a trusting sword would have like would have a hard time against that. So like, you know, you can say like X build is better than the other one, but like all the builds have their own little broken thing that's like exclusive to them. Actually, for back-end blade though, you'd be able to use it well with Fate build too, I think. You don't need Dex for that. But with Dex, like you have access to like the best swap in the game with you know, with like the Falks and the what's it called? Rakshasa. There you go, they're this way. Nah, Black Jesus, that's what I'm saying. Like, blind spot is not easy to counter if the other person knows what they're doing. Like, if you're fighting some fucking scrub that just spams it, like, you can work around it, like, fairly easily. But if you're fighting someone that knows what they're doing, they're not gonna blind spot into your fucking Storm Stomp or Stormcaller or whatever. Like, they're not gonna do that. You're not gonna have, like, free hits like that every time. Like, you're still fighting a back-end blade, like, one of the best weapon in the game, like, blind spot aside. Like, I remember I watched fucking Brian beat all these really good players on PC with fucking back-end blade. Just, you know, and to me, like, that screamed, like, wow, like, the weapon, like, carried this guy, like, so badly that it made up for the skill difference, like, to the point where the outcome of the fight didn't even make sense. Like, people underestimate how broken back-end blade is. I think this guy is going this way. This way? And this way. Oh, he's this way. I think at this point it's probably best to wait for him. Maybe I should wait for him here. Great fight. Yeah, exactly what Big Steve said. You're still counting on the back-end blade guy making a serious mistake to blind spot into your eye armor. Exactly. Yep, that's exactly it. That is how you should look at it. Yes, I agree with that. Because ultimately, like, the issue with blind spot is not so much that that like someone can spam it into you. It's that it's an extra tool to your arsenal that counters a majority of attacks on reaction. And so you don't even need to use it, but the threat of it being there, even if used sparingly, can easily tilt a fight. Alright, ate my input. Oh my god, dude. This is very stamina hungry. I guess a setup. Feels like you can't attack in neutral against blind spot. Well, a lot of weapons can't. That's the thing. Like, you're totally right. Like, a lot of weapons just can't. If armors didn't affect stats, what set would you use? That's a good question. I don't actually know. I don't know because I've kind of... You know, I've discarded, let's say, a lot of the fashion because they're basically like a hindrance in PvP. Like, you know what I mean? Like, some armors are just like too bad to be used in PvP. But I think the armors we're gonna get from Tarnished Edition, the light one that has been shown so far, like the knight armor but the lighter version, I think I'd wear that if stats didn't matter. And I might wear it for a while after that armor drops. Might try to like play around it, you know, like maybe try to get some extra poise with like leggings and gauntlets and like use the chest and helmet. You know, we'll see. We'll see. What are the best weapons for dueling back in Blade? Usually you want setups with Storm Stomp when you're fighting back in Blade. Like, in my opinion, Storm Stomp is the like probably like one of the better option you can use, but now which weapon you put Storm Stomp on depends really. There's a few options. Flame Strike can do a good job too, but I think Storm Stomp is more reliable. Actually, sorry, it's the other way around. Flame Strike is more reliable against Blind Spot than Storm Stomp. Sorry, I missaid that. It's like sometimes Blind Spot can escape Storm Stomp. Like sometimes you can Blind Spot out of the Storm Stomp to like avoid the combo and punish the fucking guy doing the Storm Stomp to you. Whereas you can't do that against Flame Strike. You love Gogs versus Backend Blade? I think in general, like Colossals, like just Colossals that do big damage are underrated in a sense that you only need like 3 good reads in order to win. And so it makes sense that some people like the Colossal matchups against some of these like more cheesy weapons because you really only need to outplay your opponent like 3 times in order to win. Given the right setup, of course. But block Ice Spear? What do you mean block? You can't block Blind Spot. Would be cool if there was a anti-wall hit tally. Yeah, I'm noticing that this setup is very prone to hitting walls. The shield blocks the crouch attacks. Okay, so you use the shield to block the fast attacks and react to the blind spot, basically, is what you're saying. I think that might be some sort of fight club. Second, yeah. Grab that. Alright. I tried to swap the dagger, but with the movement in this stupid game, like, it blocks your menu, like, most of the time. What do you have? An Ultra? You can swap to as well. Come on. It was a good fight versus the Great Lands guy. Right, still some brain dead hyper armor traits here and there, but for the most part, I think it was a decent fight. The other guy didn't fall off, he was hanging onto the edge. Oh, really? That's so funny. I didn't know that. That is so funny. I didn't know that. That is hilarious. really feel like it lacks like a good neutral option, like this setup. Like the crouch is good and all, but like it really hits everything. Like as soon as you're in the corridor, like it just hits the wall like pretty badly even. Like this setup is like, it's very rare that setups are unusable in like inside areas. Like, you know, like hitting walls happen, but like for the setup to be that bad in these sort of areas is pretty rare. Okay. I think we're gonna need to play this one a little different. Did Dark Souls 3 not have hyper armor? Dark Souls 3 did have hyper armor, but the hyper armor was way more balanced in Dark Souls 3 than in Elden Ring, because it didn't, like, the reason why it was more balanced is that it was easier to break the hyper armor. It did not start as fast, and the weapons that had hyper armor were a lot slower. Like, they didn't have like any fast option. So hyper armor weapons basically were looked at as bad weapons for the most part in Dark Souls 3, like off meta. Honey Badger, thank you so much for the resub for 26 months, bro. Thank you so much for that. And Mark, thanks for the gifted. Really appreciate that, Mark. Thanks a lot. It was, yeah, it was mostly like tactical hyper armor, whereas here in this game, you know, with fucking great sword hyper armor trading on like frame fucking 5 or something like that. Like, that defeats the whole point of hyper armor. Like, I understand the desire to not make fast weapons like too dominant, because in Dark Souls 3 that was the issue. The issue in Dark Souls 3 was actually that hyper armor weapons were underpowered. Which is why, like, you know, that I started doing this whole swapping thing. It was to make some of these hyper armor weapons that I liked, it was to make them work that I did that. Here in Elden Ring, like, technically, you don't really need to do that. You can put, like, any Ash of War on, like, any weapon. And then, for the most part, like, pretty much every weapon class has, like, a good or decent crouch attack that's, like, usable. And, like, no matter which weapon you're using, you have some potential for some mix-ups. Like, whether it's by Flame Strike, Storm Stomp, or, like, something, you know? You didn't have any of that in Dark Souls 3. Like, if you had a greatsword, everything you were doing was super reactable. And so the other guy could just dance around you, like, all day long if you didn't swap. Which is why, like, I started swapping to dagger, because if you have a greatsword and your opponent respects your hyper armor, they don't attack when they're near you, but they always wait for the punish, then that gets you a safe window of opportunity to swap to then punish them while they're being careful about your hyper armor at close range, so to speak. That was the idea, but to be honest, in Elden Ring, it's not as necessary to swap for these sorts of reasons, because for the most part, the weapons that you have in this game are way more complete and usable as it is, where you don't need to swap all the time. Obviously, though, for like the dynamic of invasions, when you're fighting multiple people, you need to get kills very quickly. Well, you're always going to need something that does big damage for invasion, so And also, like, you know, like right now we're playing with these, right? We noticed by playing with these that you can't use them near walls because they bounce off everything. So, like, for instance, if you were to use, like, a setup like that, you wouldn't have a choice but to swap to something else. If you were getting, like, in indoor areas with tight corridor, because your weapon just keeps bouncing off of walls. And so, like, that would force you to change, for instance. But this sort of stuff aside, the game doesn't really force you to swap all that much. And also another thing aside, you know, when you're fighting 3 players that are trying to grief you, like, your options are, like, extremely limited. Like, you can't really... first of all, you can't even expect to be victorious, and if you want your best shot at winning, you're gonna need to use, like, the very best stuff in the game. Like, that, there's no question about. So, like, forget about, like, having fun in these sort of situations. You're gonna basically need to have, like, you know, sword lance, VHS, like... expect to, or try as best as you can to get a you know, a R2 combo for a kill. Look at this scrub, man. Oh, speaking of sword lance, there you go. I'm just lagging. That's scary. Skippy. I still don't know how to reliably dodge that. Among Us, you're lagging today, by the way. Like, you're constantly skipping. Wow, it didn't even break him. I feel like I actually got blocked real quick by the horse phantom. It didn't change anything for the fight, but I actually think I got blocked by that real quick. That's a lot of damage. Thought I was safe while... oh shit, the lag. Just lag there. Could have hit me with that lag. You're such a scrub, bro. You're such a fucking scrub, man. my god, dude. The top elo rated player goes down. Yeah. Oh, fuck. How many pull-ups can you do? A lot, but I stopped doing them because I actually got a pretty bad injury doing pull-ups. Like, I was doing pull-ups regularly with a bar, you know, a bar that attaches to a door frame. And, you know, the bar slipped because I was putting too much energy in these pull-ups. And I actually hurt my spine. So, pretty bad experience. I actually stopped doing pull-ups after that. I only do them, you know, if the bar is like completely fixed. You okay now? Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah, so guys, be careful if you're doing pull-ups with a bar at home. Like, be careful, guys. Like, make sure that this, you know, make sure the bar is like screwed in, basically, like. So to answer your question, I don't actually know how many I'd be able to do now. I don't think I've ever went to maximum either, honestly. I'm not the type of guy to really care that much about this stuff. Like, all I cared about was just to stay healthy. That's all I cared about. Can be life-changing, dude. Like, when the accident happened, I actually was like paralyzed for a good 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds, I just could not move. Like, that was probably one of the scariest experiences I've ever had. Probably the scariest, actually. I don't think I've ever been scared as much. And, like, basically what happened is, like, I didn't fall on my back, you know? Like, when you're doing, like, pull-ups and shit, like, you don't fall on your back when you do that. Like, I fell on my knees. I fell on my knees, and the impact got transferred to the upper part of my spine. Were you 15 feet above the floor? No, like, look, you know, it was a door frame. It's like, you know, like, some people do pull-ups by, like, hanging their whole body. So, like, if they fall, they'd fall on their feet. You know, their feet would catch it. But, you know, if you're doing, like, pull-ups with, either with your legs, like, in front of you, or, like, your legs, like, crossed to make sure that you don't, like, balance the thing around, basically. Like, you'd basically, like, cross your knees, or cross your legs, so to speak, to have, like, have your feet, like, pointing up, almost. I don't know how to describe it, but, I mean, it's not that complicated, you know, like, you just basically have your knees are the first points of impact, basically. But I think the fact that it was only, like, a door frame height made it so that the injury was not as bad as it could have been. Lucky for me, but it still hurt pretty bad, and you know, had to be a fucking larva on the floor for a few seconds. Ape fall from tree. Well, it's not me that fell, it's the bar, dude. But I mean, it's still my fault, because technically you're not supposed to use these home bars without screwing them. You know, like not as in putting your dick inside of them, but as in using a screw. So you guys caught that? Yeah, technically you're supposed to screw them, and I didn't do that. I don't think a lot of people do, if I'm being quite honest. Those bars can slip? Well, apparently they can. And I can tell you exactly, like, why it slipped. Like, usually you're, like, technically, like, perfect form pull-up, you're supposed to do them with full control, but you know how it is. Like, sometimes you're pumped, like, you do them faster, or, like, when you put more energy into them, and then the momentum sometimes can drive the bar, like, a little forward, and that's what happened. It dislocated the bar from the door frame. Like, it only takes one time, really. Because you can do them, like, right, you know, with good form and everything for fucking years on end, which is actually what I did, right? I had this bar, like, I was doing that exercise for years, actually. Like, never had any problem. It's just one day, too excited, rocked the bar too much, and that's what happened. So yeah, moral of the story, guys, screw the bar into your door frame if you have one of those at home. Don't take any chances. Not worth it. It really isn't. Honestly, guys, I'm not really sure how to approach this with this weapon or this setup. I'm trying to figure out a way we can... Okay, there you go. That's one important kill. Alright. You're never using a door frame pull-up bar again? That's too scary. Hey man, I'm not trying to traumatize any of you. I just don't want any of you guys to have the same thing happen to you. With that being said, I'm not using one ever again either. But yeah, the moral of the story is screw the bar. Like, screw the bar with a screwdriver, you know, with a drill. Do what you gotta do, but make sure that thing is, like, super solid. That's all there is. Ultimately, that's the reason why I'm telling you this, because, you know, if I can prevent, like, someone else from having the same thing happen to them just by sharing that experience, like, that will be well worth it. So just take 5 or 10 minutes, then put some screws into your door frame. Fuck your homeowner, you know? And they'll just live with it. have one that wraps around the door frame. Well, mine did too, so to speak, Mungus. Like, well, I don't know. I actually don't know how all the bars are made. Like, but like, there's it like it basically has like, man, I don't think I can describe it. It's just a standard bar that you put on door frame. Like it basically clips on both sides, you know, above the door frame and then to the side of the door frame, and you know, it's very solid. It's just sometimes if you rock it too much, if you're too excited, you know, that's how it happened for me. And the bar never actually like there was never any points of failure on the bar. Like nothing broke, nothing was loose when I installed it, none of that. It's just too excited, too much forward momentum for like one pull up. And it basically like dislodged the bar from the frame. No, I wasn't swinging back and forth, Mungus, but it's still the motion that led to that. Like I said, like, you know, I was doing it for like years and then never had any issues. It's just one day, you know, like you feel like you have a lot of energy, you put a lot of you know, a lot of force into it, and then sometimes, you know, depending on how much you weigh, how much energy you put in there, like it can move the bar. Have you ever tried weighted pull-ups? Yes. I used to do it. I used to do them also from the same bar. Like, I'd actually strap myself like a backpack with a bunch of weight. Good thing I didn't fucking injure myself when I had the weights, dude. That would have been so fucking bad if I did that. That would have been, like, probably the worst. Oh, shit, what is that? Okay, good. Oh. Oh my god, bro, PvE is wrecking me. Like, actually. Bro. Dude, PvE is actually making things harder. I swear, this guy is hitting like... Oh my god, like, PvE actually keeps saving them, it's unreal. Now I'm gonna get hit again or something? No. All right. Man, that's supposed to be a rolling. Wow, we had our attack bounce off of the floor. Alright, now with all the time the PvE hit us, we're out of healings. Of course. This guy's coming back. Finally, alright. Try more one-handed running R2s. Alright. That's the running R2 here. Yeah, I never play with this setup, so I actually don't know, like, what to do, like, that's, like, most optimal. Wouldn't Great Bow be better if the boss is being so aggressive? Great Bow is, like, most of the time way better. Like, right now, like, you have to understand, like, yes, I'm playing to win, but I'm not really playing to win. Like, I'm mostly playing to like have some interesting clips of playing with various weapons. So like for instance right now I'm using that. It is by far not what I would be using if I was trying to win, you know, at all costs. I'm just using these because I've never used them before, trying to see like how we can push them, like how good or bad they are. It's like if I wanted to win, like you'd see pretty much like Sword Lance, TS, Great Bow every stream. And that would be that, like, over and over. Like, if you see me switching, like, right now, it's because I want to beat, like, whoever I'm fighting. Like, if you don't see me switching, it's because I don't actually care if I lose. Dude, this, I think one of the worst thing about this setup is how stamina hungry it is. Also, the neutral L1 is indeed very bad. Jumping attack does very good damage. Nice escape. Oh, come on. Now he's dead. Okay. So get the blue. Just so far, that's the thing that bothers me the most about this setup. Is like I can't put as much sustained pressure as I would like to, because I'm always out of stamina. The blue's behind us. Now the host. Not sure if the host... Oh, he's dead. Yo, what's up, Playway? How you doing, bro? Couldn't you use a frost grease on the offhand? That's not a bad idea, honestly. Not a bad idea. Although it would take a lot of hits for that to proc with the power stance. Like, since I take like two-handed, it takes like eight hits, so it would probably take 10 hits. I think you're better off double bundle at this point. At 10 hits to proc, you're definitely better off with damage. Why not Bragger on the left? Oh, it's just because I don't want to bother, like, changing the weapon. Like, I just kept the two ones that I have in my inventory. Can you even put Bragger? Yeah, you can put Bragger on this, right? I tried it at some point. You definitely can. Yeah, Bragger would be better, yeah. Okay. Let's just respawn. Not sure that's good. Hurry up and do that. I think we're gonna use this. Or actually, use this. No, you stupid ants, dude. That one down? Yes, we won. No, he's not. Oh, he just keeps respawning! Oh my god. That's funny. Here we suck. Probably another Mungus alt. It's gonna be a tough area to use this against 3 people. Because there's not a lot of cover to, like, get some kills going. Oh, jump into that. Careful, I don't know what I'm getting. Yeah, okay. Also, I need some VHS escape here. There's gonna be a lot of projectiles. Yeah. I don't think, see, like, I don't think this one is gonna be very doable with the double thingies. I keep doing fucking muscle memory, what's it called? Muscle memory L1s. Like, I'm playing this like it's fucking double straight sword. Okay, yeah, well, fuck it. Let's not do that. Okay. Doing the usual, guys. This is not one of those we can win with just anything. Oh, come on, you shitnet fuck. Did we dodge that? Careful. All right. Why do you never do reverse jump in duels? Because it's not that useful. You may catch someone unexpected. I mean, you can catch someone unexpected with a lot of things. Like you can keep doing it if you want to. You know, that's not what's gonna get you from being a good to a great player. That I can tell you for sure. You know, point be told, I've never seen Luber do a reverse jump. He can absolutely do it. It's not even hard to do, but it's just not that important, really. It's just fun to do. It's more useful in certain matchups, but usually the matchups that are like harder, usually jumping like doesn't really change, reverse jumping doesn't really change much for those difficult matchups, usually. Like, you know, if you're playing against a trusting sword, these reverse jumps really won't change anything. Man, I really don't know how to play with these things. I keep missing. I feel like way more comfortable with two-handed. Oh, I didn't expect them to attack there. Oh, nice. Oh. He is over-leveled, though. I can tell that much. Let's see, level count. No, he's not. Okay. He was very resistant. Weird. Oh, that's because we didn't have this. Oh my god, dude, that's why. Oh, that's Mungus. Just noticed. I like the priority with the L1, but I don't like the first L1. I'm an idiot. I thought I was out of that. I think I can push my damage here. Yeah, the stamina consumption is just so large. Come on. Get shit on, Mongoose. I don't know how many times he healed, but I didn't heal. Even though, like, my physic even ran out. You don't know what to do, bro? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, Great Lance is like a terrible match. Like, Power Stance Great Lance is a terrible matchup against, like, jumping heavy setups. You've seen people do quick step backstab against blind spot. I mean, technically, you can strafe backstab blind spot. The issue is that blind spot doesn't always come out on the same side. And also, like, you know, quick step on reaction, reverse quick step on reaction is, it's one of those, like, cheesy, broken gimmicks that's, like, similar to blind spot, just not as strong. But it's in a similar spectrum. Did you find any good Ash for Milady aside from Spin Slash and Sword Dance? I mean, Spin Slash, Sword Dance, fucking Flame Strike. It's all, no matter what you do, like, those Ash are always going to be better than whatever, like, niche Ash you're trying to use. And it's always the same story with these weapons, you know? You can't reinvent the wheel. Like, you can make it work with other Ashes, but like, if you look at it, like, I'm sure you could make Piercing Fang work, or, like, even Quick Step. But, like, you're just gonna have, like, better times usually with Sword Dance and Spin Slash. I mean, it's just how it is. Like, it's not like some of these other Ashes are not good. It's just, I think Spin Slash, Sword Dance, Flame Strike, they're just usually better all around. I mean, it's your choice. Either you want to go off meta, something a little more niche, a little more original, maybe catch your opponent off guard a little bit because they're not used to certain Ashes as much, perhaps, you know? Like, maybe you're putting fucking lots of poise, Like, what's it called? Maybe you're putting like lots of poise, barbaric roar, and then you're like face tanking your opponent's jumping attack or something like that. Like, you know, you could make work for some other things, but I just don't think that it's better overall than the usual stuff. Raptor cancel would be nasty. I mean, Raptor cancel is another gimmick. Like, I don't like gimmicks. Like, some of them can be fun, but like some gimmicks that just like give you like a really high reward for not a lot of skills, I'm not a big fan. I avenged you, teammate. I don't know how he died. He died like as soon as I arrived. Feel like LGS alone is a gimmick, not gonna lie. Dude, I was actually thinking the exact same thing when I was saying that. Like when I said Raptor's a gimmick, I was like thinking to myself, well, LGS is pretty much a gimmick on its own. Yeah, I agree with you there for sure. Like Milady and LGS are definitely not like very skillful to use. Like you could just, you know, like spam jumping attacks and like catch a lot of people doing that because it just has a lot of hits. And then with Sword Dance on top of that, that's just like super high range, big damage, everything. It's not hard to use. It's fun though, it's fun. I like it, it's fun. Like some gimmicks are fun, but it's not like as gimmicky as like something like Blind Spot, which we were talking about earlier. Like something like Blind Spot or like Dueling Shield, like stuff that just completely circumvents like so many things in the game for like, you know, like guaranteed damage on reaction. That's another layer of gimmick, right? Yeah, there's level to this, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, you're so right. Milady is pretty gimmicky. I definitely agree with that. There's a lot of gimmicky weapons. It's not like... Also, I don't want like anyone to think that like, oh, a weapon is good because it is gimmicky. Like, for instance, I don't think Shamshir is really gimmicky. Like, Shamshir is a very fundamental heavy weapon in a sense that it really relies on you having like good spacing, and it just gives you the speed, the forward momentum, the priority to just express your skill, right? As much as the weapon allows you to. So like something like Shamshir is way more or way less gimmicky than something like Milady. Even though I'd still put like Shamshir as a better weapon. But it doesn't mean that something is good, that it's necessarily gimmicky, is what I'm trying to say. Guys, we are living the compelling gameplay life. My question to you is, okay, how much FP? Well, there you go. That's how much FP. He forgot to lock on to me. Well, I just noticed there that if they try to mash into me, I do good damage. What weapons are skillful to use? Honestly, honestly, like this game has a lot of like gimmicks. Like any hyper armor weapon is kind of gimmicky because that's just the way hyper armor is in this game. Like if you use anything hyper armor, like that's a gimmick, really. As much as I like two-handed lance. I would say power stance great lance right now is pretty much as skillful as it gets, I think, for what the game has. I think halberd and axe is actually a pretty skillful setup too. Like you can really express your skill with that because you can make mistakes by playing with that thing, but it has good potential for roll catch, mix up, keeping priority. So that's another good setup. Scythe, you know, Scythe also has a gimmick because it technically has some hyper armor, but depending on the matchup, it can be very skillful. I mean, if I look at my weapons here, I try to think of something that's not gimmicky. Like, I mean, Kestis is not gimmicky because it's not great, honestly, but it's very skillful because it's pure spacing, so much so that you don't even keep priority. So you definitely need to be very skilled to use that, but not for the good reasons. TS, honestly, I mean, it's pretty gimmicky, but I would say TS is less gimmicky than Milady, even though it's a stronger weapon. Simply because TS is more spacing oriented than Milady. That's the only reason why I'd say that. Because like with Milady, it's like, you know, fuck spacing, I just do jumping attack out of range, and then I'm gonna land in range, and then punish, and then, you know, you're gonna be forced to roll, like circumventing like any sort of spacing whatsoever. Whereas TS, you still need to space your attacks. But with that being said, TS still gimmicky. Power stance straight sword, I would say pretty skillful setup. Power stance straight sword, there's nothing free with power stance straight sword. I'd say like PSSS pretty skillful, I think. Honestly, one-handed dagger, I'm not sure I'm the right person to talk about it because I don't play with it as much, but playing with it a little bit, it does seem to require very tight spacing. Like it rewards good plays and is extremely strong. So I think that seems like a very strong setup, although I will say the shields in this game are pretty gimmicky because shields shut down just so many things. So like the dagger I think is pretty skillful, but the shields, unfortunately, with the way the game is, like shields shut down like so many setups with no effort. Like shields are like a massive crutch in this game. So shields are pretty gimmicky, unfortunately. What else is there? I'd say Twin Blade are like super gimmicky. Like Twin Blade are actually very, very, very dangerous and very low skill to use. It's very easy to make Twin Blades work. Like counting poise is really not rocket science. Like counting a half hit and then getting a hit afterward, you know, that shit is like super dangerous and gimmicky. Great Cat, I know Great Cat has the whole like tracking gimmick, but I'd say it's probably more skillful than a lot of the things we mentioned. Especially Great Cat. Like Rakshasa, just a pure gimmick, you know, like no respect for Rakshasa, you know, it's just it's a free weapon. But like Great Katana, even though you have really strong tracking with it, I'd say it's still it's still a setup that I would say like rewards skill a little more than like some of the others, even though it's not necessarily, let's say, like not as strong as a thrusting sword, but it's still good enough to be able to be like stronger against a lot of setups. Okay, so to recap, we got, let's say, Great Cat, Scythe, let's say, that like daggers like Wakazashi. We got power stance straight sword, probably the axes, you know, axe halberd, Shamshir I would actually put in there. Probably fist weapons. They're not really as gimmicky as they used to be. They're very tough to use now. Like When I say fist, I mean mostly like Starfist, Kestis, and for what I have in my inventory, that would probably be it. Like I said, I would not put, and then Power Stance, Great Lance too. Power Stance, Great Spears as well, actually. But, I would say anything that has Hyper Armor in this game is a gimmick by default. Any weapon, really, that relies on the jump attack is a gimmick on its own, because the jumping attack with forward momentum in this game makes it so that you can engage without really needing much spacing. So jumping attacks, setups that are heavy on jumping attacks are usually very gimmicky. Setups that are very, like very heavy on hyper armor, pretty gimmicky. And then, you know, there's a whole lot of stuff in between, like, you know, like Twin Blade, where very free to get hits with. And then counting poise is not very difficult to do. Yo, Alluvial, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Bread. Really appreciate that, man. Is running under a jump attack a strat? I've seen it used in some tourneys recently, like reliably used. I've never done that, like, to the extent of it being as reliable as I've seen it used. I've done it a few times, but not with that kind of reliability. So maybe there's something to it there. Getting frame trapped between the two of them here. Why are you attacking it? Wow, that was weird. You guys saw that? Like, he got hit, instantly rolled out, and then got hit again. That was strange. YouTube chat not on screen. Yeah, Twitch actually bans people for having, like, YouTube chat on screen, so I had to remove it. For precaution. That's a bit backward. Yeah, that is very cringe, honestly. Like, that's such an L by Twitch, because it just makes it so that people want to have the stream on YouTube because they want to see the fucking YouTube chat, right? Because, like, people on YouTube see exactly the Twitch chat, you know, they see it on screen. So it's just stupid by Twitch, honestly. It's just a unintelligent decision by whoever decided to implement that policy. It's just not very smart to do that, I think. There's no, like, positive to that I can think of. Like, it does not benefit Twitch, I believe, in any way, shape, or form. Like, no matter what I think about, like, I just can't conceive, like, a way that this would be beneficial for Twitch. Just can't think of anything. Speaking of TS, let's see here. All right. They mean to, oops, the VHS forward. Should have gotten my second hit in this one. I think so far, like, all the hits I've taken was because I did not BHS backward. Like there again, like BHSing inward got me to get hit there. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, this fight, HP-wise was close, but, like, skill-wise, this guy was having, like, terrible spacing, always dodging when I was out of range, and, like, all the damage I've taken was because I BHS'd, like, inward. That's the whole fight right there, and somehow, like, the fucking, like, the HP battle was a lot closer just because of that. Because this guy, like, I'm gonna be honest, this guy was very terrible, like, spacing-wise. Like, he had terrible spacing. But all that mattered in that fight was that BHSing inward, it cost me pretty much, like, over half my health. What's unfortunate, though, is, like, in this situation, if Thrusting Sword kept priority, I'd never ever have that issue. Like, I'd never have that issue of, like, BHSing inward or backward, because there would be no reason to, like, BHS. Because you'd keep priority. Alright. Oh, this guy has terrible net. What do we do? We do that. Yeah, this guy's net's actually terrible. Like, unplayably terrible. Yeah. That's some crappy ass net. Like unplayable type net. Yeah, you can just, like, infinitely double roll and never get hit. I think I'm gonna switch strat here. I'm gonna... Because this net is too trash, I'm just gonna switch to TS right away. There's no point in giving this guy a good fight. Like, his net is just too terrible. Too much lag. Worked it. Tried to go for a BS, but it's like this. These are the type of like backstab I could get in Dark Souls 3, but they just don't really exist in this game. I still go for them just by muscle memory. Thoughts on Flail? Flail is actually not as bad as people make it out to be. Like, it's not great. Like, you need, like, a Flame Strike or a Storm Stomp to make it work. But it's still an Hyper Armor weapon, and it still is unparryable, so it has some use cases. Bastard Stars L2 Flame Strike. Yeah, Bastard Stars is actually pretty fun as a swap, honestly. Like when we did the magic build with all the magic weapon swaps, Bastard Stars was very fun and actually very useful as well, because the Ash has actually an insane amount of range, and then it covers a very large distance, and on top of that it combos with something else. So you can land that and then combo it into whatever you want and do some big damage, and you can hit everyone in front of you while doing it. So it's actually very useful. It's I'm really thinking that I'm probably gonna make some magic build with Tarnished Edition. When I say magic, I mean, you know, melee focused. Maybe with a focus on gravitational missile for a spell. But it just has so many fun, unique Ash of Wars. And I missed playing with it. It was a lot of fun to play with the magic build. Like, even before Gravitational Missile with the, you know, Moonveil swap, Bastard Stars swap, and the Chris Dagger. Chris Dagger is actually a pretty useful swap in Invasions, too. It just has some useful tools. Although also before, like, you had the Ritual Spear for a magic swap. Now you don't really have it anymore. I mean, you have it, it's just bad, but like before, when it used to stun, that shit was like that shit was like such a strong Ash of War for invasions that it just win you invasions just by itself. So that was a reason to use it. But now maybe you don't have that anymore, but it got replaced with some other tools like Gravitational Missile and such. Do you think 3v2 invasions will be added to Tarnished Edition? No, I don't think Tarnished Edition will really do anything. I think the only thing this will do is like add a few armors, weapons, skins, and maybe like some new starting class, like stats wise, right? It's just like we've seen some like screenshots for like these new armors on starting characters. So I think we might get like new starting classes with the Tarnished Edition. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm sort of expecting it. I'd say 60% chance we have that, 40% chance we don't. That's how I stand with that. That ritual spam were the days? Yeah, they really were. You like the perfect block? I'm not, you know, I'm not bad at it, but I'm not very good at it. Like, I can do it, but I'm not, let's say I'm not good enough at perfect blocking. I've not practiced it enough for it to be, like, useful for me. Like, if I practiced it enough and I became, like, very proficient at it, it could be, like, a very strong addition to my gameplay. But, the truth is, I'm just not that interested in Elden Ring to, like, spend some time practicing something regarding this game. But who knows, maybe that will change in the future. Who knows? Maybe Tarnished Edition will rejuvenate my love for Souls games. Who knows? You know, you never know. Possibilities always open. Did you chuckle saying that? I didn't notice, but yeah, probably. Because I half believe what I said. You're excited to start a new playthrough on Tarnished Edition? Yeah, that could be fun. You know what could be fun? Fucking doing the DLC again at Nintendoodoo, dude, with chat. Oh man, that was actually so much fun. God damn it, it's the laggy guy again. That's unfortunate. The laggy guy that was healing. Okay, let's challenge ourselves here. I'm gonna challenge myself to try to kill a laggy person like this guy as quickly as possible. Let's see how quickly, like if I try my hardest, how quickly I can kill someone like that. To be running heavy. There you go. I think that was very fast considering the sort of lag that this guy had, and also the fact that he had hyper armor. I think I did a pretty good job, like killing him quickly. I tried to do it as fast as I could. I was actually curious myself, like, if I have someone like that and I'm trying to kill them as fast as possible, like, how long would it take me to kill someone laggy like that? He deserves it? Yeah, he deserves it because last game we gave him a fight with, like, with Milady, and he just started healing on us, so it's like, whatever. Thought I would have been faster? Maybe. Alright, guys, I think I'm gonna ditch the 2v2 today. The reason why, we're deathless right now, so I'm gonna keep the stream deathless and be happy about the stream. And then I'm gonna do some 2v2s next time. And also, like, little wink at Mongus. Like, I told him that I would not skip it because I need the clips. I still need the clips, but we're gonna do it next time. I'm gonna keep this stream deathless. You can't believe this? I'm actually so happy that I'm doing that to you, Mongus. I'm so happy. I'm gonna keep it deathless. I haven't had a deathless stream in a while. So, like it. Don't die in twos. Yeah, it's almost impossible to not die in twos. The people are too good, and just the nature of the game mode, like, basically forces you to die. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming by. Really appreciate it again. We're probably gonna do twos for real next time, though. Shouldn't be that long before we do another one. But yeah, all things considered, thank you guys so much for coming by. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the mostly power stance milady today. And I'll catch you guys up next time. Flower, thanks for the prime resub. Really appreciate that, man. And Alluvial, thanks for the gifted to Mungus. He doesn't deserve it, but I really appreciate it. Alright, guys. Take it easy, and I'll catch you guys up next time. Let's raid someone. Okay, we got Swoosh. Let's see. We got Swoosh. We got Right On Daddy. And let's raid Swoosh. Yeah, 2v2 clickbait today. It's crazy how much I don't care. Like, I write a title and I don't even follow it. Alright, guys. Take care, everyone.